Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic, to cosplay, to Schitt's Creek, to Supernatural, and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and on Friday's episode, we are going to be talking about fandom and pop culture in education, and this was Bex's suggestion, so thank you so much, Bex. I'll introduce you in a moment here. So I will be basically serving as a moderator because I'm not an educator, so I can't really speak to this subject, but I'm excited to hear from both Bex and Tanya on it. So let me introduce my panelists for this week. First up, from Big Reputations Pod, I know the podcast is no longer, but you can still listen to the episodes. So,
right.
Hello, Bex.
Hello. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. And then also joining me is Tanya. Hello, Tanya.
Hola, me llamo Tanya.
Oh, Spanish fandom. That's what we're doing today.
No, I'm trying. I'm on like level 11 of Duolingo, and the owl is getting aggressive, and I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to have both of you here. And before we get into Friday's episode, let's get into some pop culture and fandom news. So, Bex, what is one thing in pop culture fandom that you are into, excited, looking forward to, want to rage about for a minute?
Oh, I'm going to talk about what I'm into, and if anybody is in the It's a Fandom Thing discourse, you might have heard me, or not heard, but read what I said the other day. I just started watching The King's Affection, which is a K-drama on Netflix. And like, I've never really been super into soap operas or telenovelas, although I've seen a few throughout the years. I had never seen K-drama before, and let me tell you, it is something else. I'm loving it. I think Netflix was like, oh, you've watched K-pop Demon Hunters like 800 times, so you must want to watch these things too, because it's like the only thing I've watched on Netflix in the last like several months. So it had all these K-drama suggestions, and I was like, what the heck? So I read like the descriptions of the first like 5 or 6 of them, and I was like, this one sounds good. Well, turns out the one I picked was one that had won an international Emmy. So it's an Emmy award-winning K-drama. It's the first one that has won an Emmy as far as I understand it. And like, I don't want to give spoilers because I think everybody should check it out. But the Netflix description says, when the crown prince is killed, his twin sister assumes the throne while trying to keep her identity and affection for her first love a royal secret. But like, how he gets killed is just wild. Like, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing that in the first episode. And it was like, it's just absolutely wild. They're like kids or preteens when it happens. So this young girl has to pretend to be the prince. And then it flash forwards like 10 years into it. And, you know, it's like she's been keeping this secret for 10 years. There's like literally only 2 people in the entire kingdom know her secret. I think I've opened a can of worms for myself, honestly, because Netflix has a whole bunch of K-dramas according to the algorithm. Like, I don't love the algorithm, but in this case, it did actually work for me. So, yes, it's The King's Affection, and I highly recommend it. I'm only about 8 or 9 episodes into it out of 20, but real good so far. Check it out.
Yeah, I should probably check out some K-dramas at some point. I'm a person who grew up on soap operas. I still watch Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
And Carla somewhere is probably like, Erin, it has been ages since you've sent me my Chad and Cat videos, because I got Carla. If you listened to our top 10 of 2025, I got Carla into shipping a couple on Days of Our Lives, and that's the only thing she has watched on Days of Our Lives is me doing these videos. But since I've been watching soaps since basically like I was like 7 or something like that because babysitters.
Mhm.
I'm surprised I haven't checked them out because I know they can be like soapy, haha.
They're high
but they're
quality.
fun.
They're very high
Some can.
quality. Like
I've
this
heard
one
those
is
are.
anyway. Yeah, it's true. This is like I'm some K-drama expert or something. That's literally the only one I've watched. But it's really well done. And it has those cheesy moments with the swelling music and the long stares and the like freeze frames. But it's still very like each episode is an hour and 10 minutes. So it's like short movies basically for every episode. There's a lot of production in it seems. At least this one.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I should at some point check them out. At some point when I get a chance. Maybe we'll cover K-dramas at some point, and then
2032.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Cool. So, Tanya.
But yeah, I've been really busy, obviously, and annoying my cat with practicing Duolingo. Loki is not a fan of the bear. On Duolingo, not the bear, the TV show. I don't know what he thinks about that. I can ask him. But I would say I would say Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have you guys talked about that lately?
Never
Here?
even heard of this.
Oh, what? Yay! Okay. Oh my God. Homework. Dungeon Crawler Carl. What the hell is this? I actually got it as a recommendation from folks in our circles, and they recommend it's a book series. So it's a I guess kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons or a tabletop role-playing game, but as a book. And that sounds really nerdy, and it is, but it's very, very funny. And I got the Audible books, so I'm listening to them, and the production quality is really good. Like, I know that there's different levels of like production quality for books, and I think that it's really worth taking the time to listen to these over reading them because the voice actor it's only one person, which I was shocked because he does a range of voices. And if you know voice actors, you know they can do that, but he pulls out like female voices. And I thought until I looked it up that they had a female voice actor coming in. It's one guy. And so it's wild, but it's very, very fun. So it's basically the Hunger Games meets Dungeons and Dragons meets, I don't know, Gen X sense of humor, I guess, and lots of pop culture references. The character is not Gen X. He's more millennial, I guess, maybe a little bit younger. But he ends up, I don't want to spoil it, but there's maybe 7 of these already. And the guy started writing them, I think, just for fun, and then was publishing them on Amazon, just novels, just publishing that way. And then Amazon bought them and it was now promoting them. And that's why I know I don't have great feelings about Amazon, but they were promoting these, so they kind of hit this critical mass of everybody telling you about them. And I very much think this is going to get turned into a series. If it isn't, I would be really surprised. I honestly think it would be a great animated series because the voice actor is so good for it. But it's a lot of fun. I hope this isn't a spoiler. Do you want a very mild spoiler of what it's about? Okay.
Yes, sure. And people can fast forward a little bit if
Everybody
they don't want.
ignore this for 2 minutes. But so the guy, Carl, the main character, is this survivor. There's a big disaster on Earth and he survives and he ends up in a dungeon, hence the name. And the dungeon escapades are televised and they're a reality TV show. And he ends up with his ex-girlfriend's cat. And yes, that is as bananas as it sounds. And then that's the setup of the series. And then hilarity ensues / lots of smashing plus some funny humor. So there we go. Yeah. So it's good. So check it out. Dungeon Crawler Carl is what it's called. And you're like, really? It's great.
Excellent title.
Yes. Yes.
Well, and it's funny that you're like, this is going to be really nerdy. And I'm like, we're like, this podcast is perfect for all the nerdy things.
Yeah. It's like,
So-
it's even, I mean, you're going, I don't even really play D&D. I like it, but I like D&D adjacent media and I've played it like once or twice and which is wild, but I'm just a busy human who, has children and a job and the Duolingo owl harassing me. So that's why I don't have more time for D&D. There we go.
Yeah. And speaking of the bear, just really quickly, and this is for people who can't out there, just can't see this because you're listening. Just visualize if you watch The Bear, Richie on a mug saying, "I apologize. I blame it on my elegance." This was gifted to me from Carla. So I know that you watched The Bear, Tanya, but this is the mug that I'm
That's
drinking out of this
Yeah,
morning.
I see it. That's cool.
And I understand why it'll be ending, but I'm very sad that the next season is the last, only because I just discovered this show. So,
Yeah.
but I understand.
Well, there's a good news, Erin. There's like 7 Dungeon Crawler Carl books for you. And there's another one coming out in May. So there you go.
And countless K-dramas.
Yeah. My list of stuff, Tanya, is never like ending. So it's like there's no lack of content that I need to watch. So
You only have to make time for 7 books, though. What's the issue? No.
Tanya with their students be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they do sound very similar. The Bear and Dungeon Crawler Carl seem like they're in the same universe.
Okay.
Totally.
There is food in Dungeon Crawler Carl?
And in season 1, when they're playing the video, what's the video game? They always come in there playing. They're doing their little tournaments.
Oh,
I know people are yelling at us
yes.
right now that are listening.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, what is it called? I
One
can't
over
remember.
in the corner.
And,
It's like a crawler. Is it
Yeah.
a crawler one?
and
No
they're
idea.
lining up, so that kind of fits
Yeah.
in. I cannot believe. I
There we
know
go.
people are yelling at us right now. I understand, but sometimes you just space things. So, but what I'm into is I want to recommend a documentary. So I went this past Monday to a mystery screening at the Alamo, and what those are is you don't know what the movie's going to be. And usually, though, by the time you get there, people have speculated so much on like Reddit and other places that you kind of know. And the movie it ended up being was not mentioned at all. So it was this documentary called Andre Is An Indiot, which I had not even heard about this. And this is going to sound super duper depressing when I give you what it's about, but this is actually really funny. There are some touching, sad moments, but it's kind of funny. And it's about this man, Andre, who is embarking on a journey after receiving a terminal diagnosis. He has stage 4 colon cancer. And so he's basically like determined to maintain his humor and to die happy. So it's about his life story. They talk to his wife, his children, his best friend, all these people. And it's also a big, huge message to get your colonoscopy is another big reason that he wanted to make this. But it's also just the story of someone coming to terms with dying and what that means and exploring that and still being funny. So I'm serious when I say it's funny. I know it sounds like the heaviest thing watching someone die. And especially like right now, I'm like, when it ended up being that, I'm like, oh, great. This is just perfect for my life right now that I'm going to be watching this. But it actually, wasn't, at least for me, it wasn't an experience that was too hard to watch. But I would suspect that for anyone who has that diagnosis or knows someone who had, it might be really, really triggering for that. But I thought it was just really, really well done and entertaining and just an interesting concept of exploring that and exploring death. But I will say there was one drawback I want to say, and I was kind of shocked when this happened. And that's why I was like, should I recommend this? But I think it's actually an important movie, especially about, encouraging people to get colonoscopies. But there was one little part at the end where they put a little disclaimer saying they were using AI for this one voiceover thing, which kind of bugged me and did not fit in my mind with this person or with anybody in the movie. So that was kind of weird. But other than that, I think it's actually a really interesting documentary and looking at the exploration of mortality and stuff. There is a great moment, though, where Tommy Chong plays his dad because his dad does not want to be part of the documentary. So he fills in for his dad, and it's really hilarious. So I think that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks to theaters. So keep an eye out for that one.
That sounds great.
I love that.
Yeah.
That it's like a full-on documentary, but then you just randomly replace the dad
Yeah.
with Tommy Chong.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I also want a
It's hilarious.
documentary, but I want to fan cast everyone in my life as very often. Yes. But I don't want to have stage 4 colon cancer. I'll just say that sounds awful,
Yeah.
but I think it's
Yeah.
important. Like I don't know about you guys, but to quote Barbie, do you ever think about death? Because I have been thinking about it a lot as we get older. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to be talking about it. And I have had my get your colonoscopy, kids. They're not fun. You will break the land speed record to get to the toilet in the prep stage, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I think I'm
Yeah.
up for mine
Yeah.
this year, so.
Enjoy. Whee!
But yeah, it's good though, so keep a lookout for that one. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to watch the trailer for Power Ballad, which is with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. Yes, that's right. Nick Jonas from the boy band stuff. He also has been an actor in a lot of things, honestly. And it's also, if you don't know, it's from John Carney, who did the Slubs doing stuff about music. He did Once, and which I'm one of the few people that didn't like it. And the fantastic underrated movie Begin Again. So yeah. So we'll be right back with that trailer.
Every group has someone who insists on doing things the hard way. They might be paying for a subscription they forgot they had, or refusing to update their phone because it still works. It's easy to be that person, especially when it comes to something that feels so simple as your wireless plan. But if you're overpaying for wireless, switching to Mint Mobile couldn't be easier. In fact, switching is so easy, it makes staying with your existing provider the hard option. With Mint Mobile, you bring your own phone and number, activate with an eSIM in minutes, and start saving immediately. No long contracts and no hassle. It's the same coverage, same speed, just without the inflated price tag. It's the premium wireless you expect. Unlimited talk, text, and data, but at a fraction of what others charge. And for a limited time, you can get 50% off 3, 6, or 12-month plans of unlimited premium wireless. Plus, they offer a 7-day money-back guarantee, just in case you want to switch back. Mint Mobile is a game changer if you want to stop feeling like you're overpaying and not receiving a good service. As a customer who has made the switch, my wireless has gone from being a bill that I hate paying to someone that I boast about to all of my friends. Ready to stop paying more than you have to. New Mint Mobile customers can make the switch today and for a limited time get unlimited premium wireless for just $15 per month. Switch now at mintmobile.com/fandom. That's mintmobile.com/fandom.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Over 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. Additional terms apply. See mintmobile.com.
Okay, it's that time. Time to check your show notes, hit pause on us, watch the trailer for Power Ballad, and then when you hit play again, we'll be back with our thoughts, or you can just listen to us talk about what we think about this trailer for Power Ballad, starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. I don't know why I keep saying that like that. It's just like, it just, for some reason, the Nick Jonas keeps throwing me. I don't know why. I'm not trying to insult him or anyone who's fans, but yeah. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we just watched the first trailer for the movie Power Ballad starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. So, Bex, what are your thoughts on this? And are you going to be buying your concert tickets for this one?
Well, I guess my first question is like, is this a Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas love story? Because that's what I'm seeing here. No, but it's definitely giving bromance vibes, right? It's like, you're more than a boy band. You're more than a boy band artist, and like you don't belong in that wedding band. And it's like, okay, all right. I don't know. It's definitely giving bromance at the very least, if it's not their love story. No, I don't know. I mean, ask Kim, am I going to be buying my ticket to this movie? Probably not, because she's always telling me that I never see any movies, and she's telling me that because it's mostly true. I don't know. I feel like, so I have not my own personal experience, but like secondhand experience with kind of the reverse of this, where like the singer songwriter decided to like not release the music that the songwriter producer had spent a lot of time on, and because they were both starting out, was like, oh yeah, sure, we'll just do like royalties and residuals and all of that stuff. And so they put in all of this work. And then the singer was like, yeah, no, actually, I'm not going to release any of it. And so it might hit a little too close to home in that regard. I mean, I do like Paul Rudd. I don't really care one way or another about Nick Jonas. I don't really think I'll watch it, but I am very curious to hear what people think about it when it comes out, because we have all of these movies that are like centered around music these days, and this one is like, a lot of them are the biopic ones, and this one he's not Nick Jonas playing Nick Jonas, right? He's playing a fictional character. So it does give its own spin, I guess. But I just want to I want to read in the Discord what all of you have to say about it when it comes out. I'll let you watch it and tell me.
Okay. So, Tanya?
Yeah, I think, like Nick Jonas, this movie is having an identity crisis. I'm not sure what's up here. I don't know if from watching this, I think if it were a bromance turned love story, that would be better. I just feel very unexcited about this, or not excited, because it looks like, is this a, drama? Is this about music? Is this about a thriller? Is this an action movie? What the hell is going on here? Stop trying to do everything all at once, right? It's just, I mean, all of those could be acceptable, and I can buy Paul Rudd as like the frustrated older person. That's not the problem here. I just like, why do we need another movie about dudes figuring out their place in the world? I have Breaking Bad. I'm watching Breaking Bad. I don't need another movie about white dudes feeling sad and frustrated that their work has been co-opted, right? I guess I'll just be a bitchy bitch about it. No, I'm not too thrilled. I like Paul Rudd too. I wouldn't like rule it out because of Nick Jonas. I just don't think it's got a clear direction. Where's the thesis? What if they make out? Yes, that's a good point that I'm seeing in the chat. If they made out, I don't know, man. I don't know if it'd be enough to save it. Maybe have 2 seconds of hockey in there. No, I'm just kidding.
If they make out, come back to me, and then I'll go watch it. But
heated rivalries reference for you kids. That's the thing I hear.
Yeah, I figured everybody would.
Yeah.
That's currently our most popular episode. So
heated rivalries. Yeah,
I know the Christmas music has been dethroned.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
been
sad.
dethroned.
I'm just kidding.
The Christmas music episode overall though, is
crazy.
still like our reigning champ. I do not get it.
I do not get it either.
I'm just curious then from both of you, because the reaction is interesting to me because of this. Have either of you seen Begin Again or Once?
I have not.
Or Sing Street?
No.
Then then I understand, because I watch this and I'm like, oh, it's totally that. This is the MO of this director writer. This is his formula. He changes it up sometimes. This is the first one I believe he's done where it is basically 2 people that are in the United States. It's usually not. Although, well, the one with Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley which is Begin Again, which I think is a fantastic movie. Highly recommend it. I don't remember if Keira Knightley was using a American accent. I can't remember now. But this is very much that formula of one musician is either older or has kind of lost their way and finds inspiration through another musician. The difference with this one, as opposed to Begin Again or Once, is the other musician is not a woman, and that's usually what it is. So this is kind of different. I know a lot of people that love those movies, that passionately love those movies, that are so flippin' excited for this movie. So, and I'm sure the Nick Jonas fans will watch it. I love music movies. I will probably watch it. I am excited to see that, at least except for a few scenes, it feels like I complained about this last year. I love Paul Rudd, but Paul Rudd plays Paul Rudd all the time, and it gets kind of old. And this looks like he might be not just playing Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd did a few indie movies like really early in his career where he wasn't the Paul Rudd that everybody knows. And so I'm hoping maybe because this is very much an indie film. That's why, like, I doubt this is going to be an action movie or anything like that. It'll be one of those, like, an older singer rediscovering himself through a younger singer, that kind of thing.
Did they kiss in the other ones?
In Once, they don't. I don't. Spoilers for both these movies, but in Once, and correct me if I'm wrong, people might be yelling, I don't believe they actually ever do. It's like a love story without them actually, like, it's more through the music. And people adore that movie. And I think, like, the song Falling Slowly from it, which I'm sure you've heard, is like one of the most beautiful songs ever written. But I just found the movie kind of boring. Begin Again, they also don't, spoilers for that, they also don't ever, like, Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley never, like, make out or hook up or anything.
Okay.
But they have their own little kind of love story through music. So it's very much, his movies are very much about love through music and the power of music. And that's why I like Begin Again, and that's why this appeals to me. Yeah, the Once soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I will watch this. I will definitely watch this movie. This is totally my kind of thing. Plus it's more quiet. It looks quieter. And I loved this trailer, I have to say, because this trailer gave so little away, except for the fact that you get the idea that the Nick Jonas character is stealing a song from the Paul Rudd character without giving any credit. That's what you kind of get from the trailer. But it doesn't give that much away. And I always appreciate that with trailers when they give less away. I'm sure there'll be another trailer that'll come out and it'll be like 3 minutes long and I'll give the whole movie away. But so far, so good.
But it sounds to me like that is going to be a love story, even if they don't kiss. It sounds like if he follows his formula that he's done, this is going to be a love story.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing. It's like finding love through music is how I would kind of categorize it. Is like how powerful music can be in bringing people together or people discovering who they are or stuff like that. And that, I mean, that's definitely the theme of Once and Begin Again. That's definitely the themes around those movies. And I think that's kind of why those movies, even though I'm not a big fan of Once, I think the reason those movies work so well is even though there's a love story there, there's not a love story there. And by that, I mean, like, it's not like the woman, like, gives up everything for the man or the man. It's nothing. It's like falling in love, but not falling in love, if that makes sense. It's like this, really interesting exploration of that. So that's why I recommend those, especially, I really recommend Begin Again because I think that is a fantastic movie. And I love Mark Ruffalo so damn much. So I will always recommend anything Mark Ruffalo does. Okay, well, we're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, I just wanted to have some fun because Creation Entertainment, who puts on conventions, primarily they're known for the Supernatural conventions, but they put on other conventions as well, is doing a Supernatural Broadway concert at their upcoming Orlando show, where it's basically going to be some of the actors are going to be performing Broadway hits. So when we come back, we're just going to talk about and see if people would want to see that on my panel, or if there's a dream addition to a convention that they've never seen that they would like to see. So we'll be right back. Okay, so in case you missed it, and also today, like I learned, Creation Entertainment has raised their fees to like 15% for like the processing fee to 15%. They're raising it on I can't remember when they're raising it, but yeah, that's what I learned. So yeah, shocker.
I haven't been to one of their conventions in a minute, at least 4 years, so maybe 5.
Yeah, same. I think I understand the need to increase prices, but they are, if I came into this because for folks who are just listening, my camera isn't working, and today was just a little bit of I describe myself as a hot mess, but the real hot mess is Creation. I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you, but I understand that they have behind the scenes things, and it's very costly to put on something like this, but I don't know how they continue to have what from my side looks like a lack of organization. Like, they've been around forever. Why are they still so disorganized, frankly?
Yeah. And I've been to larger conventions that aren't nearly as expensive.
Yeah, I think they're very expensive. I actually don't think they're disorganized at all. I think they're one of the best conventions ever to go to. They're just insanely expensive as far as like the supernatural side. Now, other sides of their conventions, I've looked up the prices and they're not as expensive. And the reason they keep charging that is because people pay it.
And I'm talking about disorganization and those other things, just to be clear. Yeah, they are very disorganized in the Xena convention fandom space right now. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but like the problem is they put on a great convention for Supernatural, and that's why people keep going. Like I went a couple of years ago and it was one of the funnest times of my life, but it is insanely expensive. But anyway, they also are adding a thing where for their Orlando show called Supernatural Broadway Concert, where they're going to have some of the actors performing Broadway classics on stage. Now, this to me cracked me up when I saw this. So, Bex, would you want to go see something like this at a convention, or is there some kind of dream edition you would like to see at a convention?
Honestly, I'm pretty indifferent about this concept. I'm sure there's crossover fans here. Like there's plenty of people who are Broadway fans and Supernatural fans, and they're gonna really enjoy that. So I'm sure it'll work for them. I guess my question was like, is this in place of like the Loudon Swain concert? Is this in place of the karaoke? Is it in addition to it? Are they going to be charging for this? I'm sure they're charging for it. It's creation. That's what they do. Yeah, I asked the question, but I didn't really need to ask that question. I don't know. When I go to conventions, I go primarily for panels, whether it's something big like New York Comic Con or something more niche like the Supernatural conventions, right? Like I like Artist Alley. I like the photo ops. I'm not really big on the like events and parties that happen. Like New York Comic Con does that. They're like after party about blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, by then I just want to go home. Granted, it's because I get there like 10 a.m. doors open and I'm not staying out until 10 p.m. if I'm going back the next day. I kind of like Erin A. I'm like, it's my happy place is New York Comic Con. I've never been to San Diego, but those are the aspects I like. I don't really need the sort of after party concert experiences. And, you know, you're talking about them raising their prices and their fees and the this and that. That's just one more thing on top of everything else that's going to cost money. If it were free, I would go to like hang out with my fandom friends who were going to truly enjoy it. I would be all for that. I love, like with Supernatural conventions, I feel like the last time I went, I think I just lobby conned, right? Like I didn't buy a ticket. I didn't go get any photo ops. I just went and like hung out in the lobby space. And as my friends came through, I was chatting with them and like asking them about their experiences. Because at this point for Supernatural conventions, I've done enough of them that I feel like they're not really giving me anything new. And so maybe this is their solution to that. I don't know. If I'm going to a Supernatural convention, it's to see the not stars, honestly, more so than the people in the show. It's not like I would never do an extra type of thing like that. I don't know. I'm a panel geek. So like, give me good panels and I'll be sitting in those all day. It also gets me out of the crowds. So as far as like a dream edition, I can't really think of anything, but that being said, if something came across and I was like, oh yeah, like sign me up, I would not rule it out, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or if there was like, do you have like a dream? Like, is there someone you've never seen at a convention that you would love to see a panel with one person?
Pedro
How did
Pascal.
I know that was what you were going to say?
I honestly didn't pre-plan that at all. I had no, like, you just asked that question off the cuff. And I was
just
like,
asked that,
it's the first person that came to mind. I adore him. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and this is going to happen on Friday before karaoke, which if you don't know, for the Supernatural conventions, they do karaoke every Friday, and that is totally free. It's free and open to the public. And this will cost for general admission. At first I thought it said $19, but no, it's not. They're not that cheap. $79. So it's $79 to $119 for this. So that's more expensive than the Loud and Swain concert, I want to say.
And they're an actual band.
Yeah. But like, it'll be like Adam Fergus, Brianna Buckmaster, Sam Smith, Rob Benedict, Ruth Connell, Gil McKinney, and Jason Manns are the ones that are going to be performing during this first initial one. They haven't added this to anything else, so they're probably going to see how it does and then maybe add it. I don't know if they're doing any songs from Hair, but if they were, and if they were naked, that would probably attract a lot more attention.
That would be worth the $79.
So, Tanya, would you ever want to go to this, or is there anything else that you dream of, like, add it on?
I would not ever want to go to this. And I'm Debbie Downer today. Wah, wah. No, I'm with Bex. I don't think I'm somewhat indifferent to celebrities at cons. That said, it's not that I don't enjoy it. I enjoy the reaction of people a lot more. So if I also have had a blast, an absolute blast at Supernatural conventions. And I went to a Xena convention last year because some of you know I love the Xena Warrior Princess fandom. You can't see it, but I have a big ass Xena tattoo now that I would love to show you and talk about that forever. But at some point it becomes more about the people and the fandom. And I think we're very much on that page. I mean, that's part of my research is giving the fans their due. But my guess is very much that they're trying to do something different, that the celebrities wanted to do this, or they threw out some ideas and people responded and this one got the most votes or something. And I think they do have to keep doing things differently so that both the stars and the performers don't get tired of it, so the fans don't get tired of it. So it makes complete sense to me. Would I go see these people in a Broadway production of something? Yeah, probably. But do I want to go to a Supernatural convention to see them do Broadway shows? I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Gil McKinney could probably sing anything. I mean, he has the voice of an angel, like for real, from having heard him perform at Supernatural conventions. So I think he'd be excellent in a Broadway show, but I'd rather go see that, not necessarily what they can do. And I'm sure they're going to be great, like no shade at all. So if folks are big Broadway fans, I could see this being appealing, but not necessarily if they're not. For a DreamCon convention, I would lose my shit because I joined this fandom 10 years too late, and that is Black Sails. If there were a Black Sails convention, which is a pirate show, not to be confused with One Piece or Pirates of the Caribbean. I do like One Piece. Pirates of the Caribbean can go away forever. But I do like Black Sails, and if we could do that, I would love to see those folks talk. But like you, Bex, I want to hear panels. I want to hear about, I would say Dungeon Crawler Carl, but that would be like 3 dudes. So that would be kind of boring. I am going to be on the lookout the next convention I do have the opportunity to go to for cosplays, because there are 100% cosplays of this that I just have not clocked as being in that fandom. And that's always fun. But yeah, I think a Black Sails convention would be great. I would love that. I could just watch this is like the Heated Rivalries. They're just going to have a workout section where they just talk about their workouts. I think the same for Black Sails, but less focused on the glutes. My favorite thing about Heated Rivalries is not the show and it's not the glutes. It's that the fan pressure forced the one dude to release his glute routine. And I think that's my favorite, like, random fact that I've heard.
Honestly, better than things that other fandoms have pressured people to reveal, right? Like, oh, yeah. Here's your glute thing. That's fine.
Yeah. It's just a lot of squats, people. It's just a lot of squats.
Yeah, that fandom is so toxic, though. That Heated Rivalry, a side of it, is very awful.
No, I don't. I can totally understand where that could be a problem. And I mean it in a very, very objective way, a very, like, demisexual way. Tell me your glute routine, man.
No, I'm not even talking about that. There's other things of, like, going after certain stars because they might be dating another star and you don't want them to, and all this horrible stuff. So
okay,
anyway,
gotcha.
So that's more what I'm talking about. But so I don't know if I would ever go to this, honestly, but I will say the last time I went to a creation convention a couple of years ago, I was like, I am just going to treat myself to a bunch of stuff. I never do that. And I went to, like, the PJ party, And usually it's Kim Rhodes and Brianna Buckmaster, but she wasn't there that weekend. She had to cancel. So Matt Cohen filled in for her. And I feel very lucky that Matt Cohen filled in for her. And the PJ party is so much fun. It's like a blast because it's so relaxed and it's a small, intimate thing. And like you're not supposed to talk about anything that's talked about there. And then you get a selfie with them at the end. And Matt Cohen I love Matt Cohen so much. And so that was so much fun. And then I also did Ruth's witching hour thing where she did like a tarot reading. And that was so beautiful, especially for that time. And Ruth Connell is like my favorite human being out of all the ones of the cast members that go to those conventions. She's such a beautiful human being. And so that was like great additions that I, kind of did because I was like, oh, cool. I am actually able to add these things in. And I'm so glad I did. But I understand I also go to these mainly for the panels because that's the funnest part to me is to hear people talk about their artistry. I will say, even though I love supernatural conventions, I get kind of tired of the panels at them at times because of the questions, because I go there for panels where I want to hear more in-depth stuff than like, if you were a tree, what tree would you be? Like those kind of questions, I'm sorry, people out there, if you've asked them, but they irritate me because it's like, what are we going to learn about like the craft or like the show or like their process by that question? It just kind of, those questions irritate me so much because they're asked all the time. And it's just kind of like, or the prank question or stuff like that. That gets old. But in general, I like panels a lot. And I think if you were to add something to creation where it was that fan thing, it would be really cool to do a panel with like, there are so many supernatural podcasts out there. So you could have people that they created those because they were fans that have podcasts on there or a group of fans talking about being in the fandom. That would be an interesting thing to add on. It'll never happen with creation, but that would be an interesting thing to do. And I know there were a group of people in Colorado that kind of did that at the Denver Comic-Con that now is that Fan Expo event. And I don't know, Tanya, were you part of that put on those?
Yeah, I was. And that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that very much where it was fan-based panel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, my question is, I hear you, but also like, what kind of sandwich would you be? Because I would be either very low maintenance, so grilled cheese, but you got to throw some pickles or something weird in there to reflect the vinegar and my personality. Yeah.
But I just think that would be an interesting addition because it is, a big reason people continue to go is each other.
Yeah, pickles give you that umami. You get that umami. No, I'm sorry. I'm teasing.
No, I'm with you, Erin. I'm totally with you. Like, put fans on panels, and I want to hear but niche things about them. Like, make them specific, not just like I'm a fan, I love it. Especially at a creation con where obviously that's why we're all there. But more like someone like Tanya and I doing something about using supernatural in our classes or something like that. That would be really cool. I don't know, but that's the kind of geek I am.
Yep.
No, I think that would be interesting. And I think people would go to a panel like that. So I think it'd be an interesting thing to add on there of like, and I'm not saying this because I'm saying this because I want us to have a panel there, but like Moth Paula and I have a whole podcast just dedicated to analyzing Dean. So it could be a whole thing of like where you're talking about that or fanfic writers, like why do you write about these people in fanfic? Stuff like that, or what inspires you, or why do these characters speak to you too much or not too much? I didn't mean to say too much.
Why do you dream about them? No, but only tell us PG-13 dreams. But yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know if they used to do that at supernatural conventions, but I know at like Xena ones, I've heard they used to have writers or directors panels. And I know they do that. They used to do that with the Winona Earp fandom too, where they would have more like the producers, the showrunners, which I would like to hear because I don't know that side of things. Right.
Yeah.
So I would be interested in that.
I went to one, I think it was the first one I ever went to in New Jersey in 2016, we're going to say. And not that he's my favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but Bob Singer was there and did a panel. And so it was nice to hear a different perspective thing. Like, again, that was my first one, so I didn't know that wasn't the norm. But it was nice to be like, oh, okay, so you're not just sharing actors' perspectives, you're giving us other voices as well. But I don't think I've experienced that since.
Yeah, that people have been asking for that forever, and they never, for some reason, creation just doesn't do it. But they've been asking to have panels with writers and everything like that from the show forever. They've been asking for that, fans have. And for some reason, they just don't do that. Instead, they add a supernatural Broadway musical. When what they could do, like was said in our Discord when I shared this in there, is they missed a huge opportunity. They could just do a live thing of the supernatural musical from the show if you're going to be doing really, that makes more sense in a way if you're going with the show. But so I know creation probably doesn't listen to us, but if you do.
Yeah, totally. I think people would show up for that if you could stage the actual musical. That would be fun. I would enjoy that.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I will say today I just picked up a magazine for a friend for their birthday. It says Supernatural 20th anniversary. So to make us all feel old.
Yeah, I have the 20th anniversary TV guide thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I have that.
I was like, I picked that up and I was like, 20 years? No, that was just yesterday, I swear.
Well, it's going to be 21 years this year, so.
Oof.
Sorry.
It's old enough to drink. Woo!
I know. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. So thank you, Bex and Tanya, for joining me. And I'm going to have both of you tell everybody where they can find you and anything you want to promote, Bex. I know, I don't know if your other podcasts are still going or...
Sure, yeah. Well, Big Reputations has ended, but the episodes are still available to listen to anywhere you get your podcast. We're not officially back, but Coach Beard's Book Club, I will say, the teaser trailer for season 4 of Ted Lasso was literally just Coach Beard sitting there reading a book for 20 seconds. So I feel like we were directly called out, and we might just have to at least do an episode on that. And then Latinx Vision still comes out. My colleague and I put out 3 episodes a semester, and we've done 2 interviews with different Puerto Rican creators so far, both in Spanish. So if you want to hear my really rusty Spanish, you can go listen to those as well, Latinx Visions.
Awesome. Thank you. And Tanya, where can they find you?
Oh, sorry. Where can you find me? Bex, your Spanish is definitely better than mine. We can arm wrestle. But you can find me in my living room asking Loki what he thinks about The Bear or Breaking Bad or different TV shows. Loki's a cat. No, seriously, you can find me through my website, tanya-cook.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And Fergie the dog does not care about the show The Bear because Fergie only likes horror movies, true crime, and Abbott Elementary. That's the show that she loves to watch, Fergie the dog. And you can follow her on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. To find all our past episodes, links to our social media, including the Discord server, where we talk about politics, film, television, conventions, anything you can possibly think of, head on over to our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter today. For as little as $3 a month, you get ad-free content, you get episodes a day early, you get bonus episodes, and occasionally you win prizes. Our upcoming marathon streaming event, which will be taking place on Saturday, May 16th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we give away prizes to some of our Patreon supporters. So you could win some cool stuff that's been donated, maybe some stuff from our Redbubble store. You never know. So head on over to the Support Us tab on our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com, or click the link in our show notes. And soon we have to talk about scheduling it because I know she has seen the movie. Carla and I will be doing a special, and I don't know if we're going to have anybody else on, but it might just be Carla and I. And of course, Christian fucking Bale will probably stop by, quote unquote, Christian fucking Bale, to talk about The Bride. So that will be a bonus episode for our Patreon subscribers only. So yeah. So many reasons to become a Patreon supporter today. And on Friday's episode, Bex and Tanya will be back to talk about fandom and pop culture in education. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and Free Palestine.